Okay, so let's get into it. We're talking about something I think we all do, which is making digital playlists.
Right. But we're going to go a little deeper than just, throwing a few songs together for a road trip.
Yeah, this is about really mastering it, how to build a perfect soundtrack for, I don't know, studying or working out or just chilling.
Exactly. We're skipping the super basic stuff like how to make an account. We're going to get into the actual strategy, how to build a great library, and even understand the tech that's working behind the scenes.
So the first big decision isn't what song to add, it's where you're even listening, picking a streaming service,
And that's a bigger deal than it sounds. You're kind of picking your whole music universe when you do that.
for sure. You got to look at what kind of music they have if some artists are only on one platform.
And the subscription options. It's not just about paying to get rid of ads.
Right.
Sometimes features like downloading music for offline listening that's locked behind the paid version. So you should always use the free trial to test everything out.
Test the features you actually want, not just the music.
Exactly. See if the sound quality is good enough for you, that kind of thing.
And when you first set it up, they ask you what kind of music you like. That part is, well, it's pretty important.
It is because you're giving the system its first instructions. But I'd say don't be too specific at first.
Oh, interesting. Why not?
Well, if you only pick a few genres, you're kind of closing the door on a lot of other music the system might show you. It's better to start broad and let it learn from what you actually listen to.
Got it. And for the best experience, you obviously need good internet.
Yeah, especially if you're into high quality, what they call lossless audio. That's uncompressed sound, and it takes up a lot of data. A normal connection might even struggle with it.
And you have to keep the app updated.
Oh, for sure. Those updates often have fixes that make the music play smoother and sound better.
Okay, so Command Center is set up. Now for the fun part, finding the songs.
The hunt.
The search bar seems easy enough, but it can be a total mess.
It really can be. You look for one song and you get, what, like 10 different versions?
Exactly. The original, the live version, the acoustic one, a couple of remasters.
It's a rabbit hole, and you waste time clicking between them all.
So what's the trick?
Use the filters. Almost every service has them. You can filter by the release date to find the original, or you can filter by popularity, which usually shows you the main version everyone listens to.
That's a great tip.
And always listen to a little preview before you add it, just to make sure it's the one you actually want.
Okay, you've found the perfect song, the right version. Now you need a place to put it.
Time to make the playlist folder. You
Yeah.
look for that little plus sign or the new playlist button.
And the name is everything.
Please give it a good name. This is so important.
Yeah. Not just My Mix 1.
No, because in a year you'll have My Mix 12 and no idea what any of them are. Be specific, like late night study lo-fi or high energy workout.
So your future self will thank you.
Totally. You can also add a little description sometimes, which is cool, and decide if you want it to be private, just for you, or public so other people can find it.
Okay, folder's made. Now, adding the tracks, you just click the little three dots next to a song and hit Add to Playlist.
Yeah. And the cool thing is you can add the same song to a bunch of different lists.
Oh, that's huge. A song could be perfect for a party and also for just, driving around.
Exactly. And a big time saver, you can usually add a whole album at once.
That's smart for when you're just starting a collection.
And as you add songs, you'll see the track count and the total time go up, which is really useful if you're making a list for, say, a 1-hour run.
And some apps let you just drag and drop songs right into the list super fast.
But just adding the songs, that's only half of it.
You're talking about the order, the flow.
I am. The order of the songs is what separates a good playlist from a great one. It can totally change the listening experience.
It's so true. You don't want a super loud, intense song right after a really quiet, slow one. It's jarring.
Totally. So you want to think about the energy curve. Maybe
Yeah.
start with something high energy, then kind of bring it down a bit, and end with something more chill.
Or you could mix up the artists.
Yeah.
Right, so you don't hear like 5 songs in a row from the same person.
Yeah, that helps keep it feeling fresh. The whole point is to create a smooth ride, No sudden jumps in volume or style. It should all flow together.
Once it's built, you have some control over how you listen. Let's talk about shuffle.
Shuffle mode. It's not as random as you think.
Really.
Well, yeah, the new systems are smart. They try to avoid playing the same artist twice in a row or putting all the slow songs together. It's more like an organized
A
randomness.
smart shuffle. So it keeps things surprising but still good.
Exactly. It's great for rediscovering songs you forgot you even had on the list.
And the opposite of that is repeat mode.
Right. You can loop one song over and over if you're trying to learn the lyrics or just really love it. Or you can loop the whole playlist so the music never stops.
Now, our taste in music changes all the time. So playlists need a little bit of maintenance.
Oh, for sure. You've got to go in and clean them up every once in a while.
Like a song you loved last year just doesn't hit the same way now.
Exactly. So you just remove it. And it's important to know that doesn't delete the song from the whole service. It just takes it off your list.
Good to know. It's like weeding a garden, right? Keep it fresh.
Perfect analogy. Check your main lists every few months, get rid of what doesn't fit anymore, and maybe add some new stuff.
And playlists aren't just for you. They can be social.
Totally. You can share a link to your playlist with friends through a text or whatever. It's a cool way to share what you're into.
There's also that collaborative feature, which is really fun.
Yeah, where multiple people can add songs to the same playlist. It's perfect for parties or group projects, so everyone gets to add their favorites.
A musical democracy.
Basically. And you can browse other public playlists to get inspiration for your own.
Okay, let's switch back to the technical side. Offline listening. This is a huge feature.
It's so important. It means you can download your playlist to your device and listen without an internet connection.
Which saves a ton of your phone's cellular data. Perfect for, like, the subway or a plane.
Exactly. You just toggle the download switch.
Yeah.
But there is a catch.
The storage space.
Yep. Music files, especially high-quality ones, can take up a lot of room on your phone. We're talking gigabytes, so you have to keep an eye on that.
And it still uses your phone's battery, of course.
Right. It's a trade-off, no data usage, but it does take up storage and battery.
All right, now we get to the really deep stuff. The hidden tech that's running everything. The algorithms.
This is the magic. These are the complex computer programs that decide what new music to show you.
So when you get that recommended for you list,
Yeah.
and it's full of amazing songs you've never heard, how does it know?
It's basically doing two things. First, it analyzes the music you already listened to. You know, the tempo, the instruments, the style.
Okay, that makes sense.
But the really clever part is that it also looks at millions of other users. It finds people who have similar taste to you, and it sees what they're listening to that you haven't heard yet.
Oh,
So it's basically saying, hey, people who like what you like also like this new band. You should check it out.
it's like having a friend with amazing taste in music who's always finding new stuff for you.
A robot friend, yeah. And you're constantly training it. When you give a song a thumbs up or a thumbs down, you're giving it feedback. You're telling it more of this, less of that.
Speaking of costs, let's talk data again. Streaming music can use up your phone's data plan really fast if you're not on Wi-Fi.
It really can. And the biggest factor there is the audio quality setting.
Higher quality means more data.
A lot more. So if you're worried about going over your data limit, there are two things you should do. First, go into the settings and set the streaming quality to be lower when you're on cellular data.
Okay. And the second thing,
Set the app to only download songs when you're on Wi-Fi. That's a huge one. It stops you from accidentally downloading a massive playlist using your precious data.
and that brings us back to storage on your phone.
Yep. All those downloaded songs add up. You should check your phone's settings every now and then to see how much space your music app is using. If it's getting full, you might have to delete some downloaded playlists to make room.
It's a constant balancing act.
It is. But once you get the hang of it, you can have all your favorite music without killing your data plan or filling up your phone.
So if we pull this all together, mastering playlists is really about taking control.
Yeah, you're not just letting the algorithm decide everything for you. You should use it as a tool, but also, explore on your own, make a playlist of movie soundtracks or mix music from the 70s with stuff that just came out.
The creative freedom is the best part. You can build a library that's like a perfect reflection of you.
Exactly. When you understand all these little steps, the building, the organizing, the tech, you move from just being a listener to being a curator. You're in charge of your own audio world.
So here's a final thought to chew on. If these algorithms get so good at predicting what we like, do we lose the joy of discovering something totally unexpected on our own?
See you next time. Good luck with your studies.